Hey everyone, Duke here, and today we're going to talk about how to farm Bright Dust to unlock the new Dragon Bundle, or the Wings Bundle, or any other thing you may want in the new Eververse store. We'll also be talking about a couple quick tips for the Dawning event that's going to make farming Bright Dust and just other Dawning things a lot easier. So to start for this event, there's going to be 2 weekly bounties that you can do for every single character. This is going to allow you to get 200 Bright Dust each per week. This event is going to last 3 weeks, so if you do these 2 weekly bounties each week, that's going to be 400 Bright Dust. And if you have 3 characters and do it on all 3 characters, that will be 1200 Bright Dust that you can get per week. And if you do that for all 3 weeks, that's going to be 3600 Bright Dust just for doing these 2 bounties on 3 characters in each of the 3 weeks. So that's going to get you, even if you started at 0 Bright Dust, over half of the way that you need for the 6000 Bright Dust for the Dragon Wings. And also note that these bounties are both quite simple, at least for this first week, just delivering 5 cookies, which is going to be super duper easy once you start playing a little bit, get some materials, make 5 cookies and deliver them, and defeating 50 targets with snowballs. You run into a strike, pick up some of the snowballs that are going to be there, or even in just in patrol spaces, you can kill 50 targets quite quickly. Again, do it on 3 characters, 150 total. Both of these combined shouldn't take you more than maybe 20 minutes per week on all 3 characters total. Maybe 30 minutes, maybe 10 minutes a character, but super easy way to get a lot of Bright Dust here. Now the great thing about the Dawning event, and again all these events technically do have repeatable bounties that you can do infinitely for 10 Bright Dust each, but the great thing about the Dawning event specifically is that these repeatable bounties are actually extremely simple in that they will always be making a specific cookie. And you don't have to go do anything extra or specific. Basically, just gotta play the game, have some materials, and start being able to make these cookies. The other nice thing about these bounties is you'll get some ingredients back when you do actually finish the bounties. Do note, very useful tip here is that when you make these cookies, you don't actually have to deliver them to finish the bounty. I'd actually recommend not delivering them until later, unless you want to be pretty inefficient, because if you're going to be doing a lot of these, you'll just be running back and forth a million times rather than, do a lot of the bounties and then turn them all in a little bit later, kind of do them all at the same time. You might have quite a few cookies for each individual person to give. So if you just do it all at one time, it's going to be a lot faster. Another recommendation I would give is, as soon as you can, getting these 2 upgrades. The Bountiful Harvest upgrade is going to give you an extra random ingredient whenever you complete Dawning bounties, which again you're going to be doing quite a few of, and maybe even do some of the dailies as well. And I'd also make sure to get the Essential Harvest. That's going to give you some Dawning Essence back whenever you complete bounties, which again, you do need Dawning Essence in order to make the cookies in the first place. Now our next tip is going to be very helpful if you're going to be planning on farming this event, and if you have farmed this event in the past, if you go to Season 12 in your Equipments tab under Ships, you're going to want to make sure to pick up the Starfare 7M ship and have this equipped on you the entire time that you are playing the event. Basically, the entire 3 weeks of this event, you're going to want to have this equipped. The reason for that is that there is actually a mod specific to this ship that gives you a chance to generate extra Dawning Spirit whenever you find a Dawning ingredient. This is going to allow you to get some of those upgrades quite a bit faster, which is super duper helpful. I believe if you have not gotten this in the past that it will be available from EVA on one of these pages here. Do note there's an extra page here with this memento and stuff, so make sure to check these pages. I believe you'll be able to buy it even if you haven't gotten it in the past. I don't know that for sure, but definitely worth having, and again, making sure it's equipped if you are able to. Now, one really other important thing that we've always had in each of these years is in the oven itself, where we're going to be making the cookies. This is going to be that we want to make sure that we discover all of the recipes before we really start farming and making a bunch of other cookies. So basically, you want to make every single cookie at least one time before you really start going and doing other things. Now, you can do it like super extra efficiently if you wanted to, and like try to get the bounty for each cookie before you do it, the repeatable bounty that is. And again, the other tip with these bounties, right? The 10 Bright Dust repeatable bounties is you can delete them and rebuy ones to try to get, the cookie that you want and stuff like that. It only costs Glimmer. So little small tip there, but big tip is definitely want to make sure we masterwork this oven. Now, if you have done this in previous years, you'll notice that most of them are already discovered. Actually, all of them except for one should be discovered if you've done this, last year. Maybe if you did it in a previous year, did that, you might have some of them discovered. But for this year, we are going to have at least one. The Neomon pie that we're going to need to discover. You'll need 1 Vex Milk, 1 Dark Frosting, and then the 15 Essence of Dawning. We will definitely want to make sure to make this ASAP, pretty much first, before you really make any other cookies if possible, because that will then lower the Essence of Dawning cost for all cookies going forward down to 10, which is a big, big, big difference. Especially if you're going to be making tens, hundreds, maybe thousands of cookies. If you're, really grinding this event, you want to make sure to get this Essence of Dawning cost down ASAP, because that's really going to be your limiting factor in terms of making cookies, is the Essence of Dawning. So very, 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 probably the most important tip here. Now, going back to Bright Dust and making sure we can get up to at least 6,000 for the event, is don't forget that the season pass is going to have quite a bit of Bright Dust. Even in the free section, there's quite a bit of Bright Dust that you can get all the way through 150, even if you don't have this season or this episode purchased. But if you do, you'll have some extra Bright Dust in the purchased side as well that you can get going up to level 150 at the moment. So definitely keep this in mind if you haven't already done that. That kind of connecting with that, you've got our seasonal challenges, which this is going to be one of probably the fastest way to get through the season pass and get up to 150, or get up at least some levels to get some extra Bright Dust. But even if you are already 150, you just don't have Bright Dust, we have quite a few seasonal challenges all throughout the first 10 weeks so far, and we'll also have some the next 2 weeks, for week 11 and week 12 of this event, or week 2 and week 3 of the event, but 11 and 12 of the episode, that will give more Bright Dust. So even if you finished every single Bright Dust challenge of the entire year so far, you will have at least 2 more weeks that'll have some Bright Dust challenges. Do note that the Bright Dust is different depending on the challenge that you do. So the Challenger XP Plus reward will be 75 Bright Dust. If you have a Challenger XP Plus Plus reward, that's going to give you 150, and then the Challenger XP Triple Plus will be 300 Bright Dust. Again, that's going to be per challenge. Again, if you've already done all the previous weeks, then you maybe don't have a ton here, but we'll have, this current week, unless you, what you can't already have done trials. I know not everybody's a huge fan of trials, but if you can win 20 rounds, it's going to be 300 Bright Dust. This one's going to be super easy. Just get some kills and stuff with certain weapons, 150 Bright Dust. And again, week 11 and week 12 will have some new challenges and new ways to get Bright Dust as well. And also don't forget, Eververse engrams themselves can give Bright Dust. I wish I was recording when I logged in today, but I had 2 engrams just from turning in some seasonal challenges that I hadn't turned in before, and both of them gave me Bright Dust. Now that was really lucky. I would say it's not a super high drop rate, but there's a small, medium, and large gifts of Bright Dust that you can get from this, which is anywhere from 250 to 1,000 Bright Dust. So as you get some of these, make sure you're turning them in. Even if you get to 150 on the season pass, every 5 levels after that, you'll be able to get these bright engrams here, as you can see on the bottom, or every 500,000 XP, which is 5 levels. But again, another way to potentially get some Bright Dust as well. And that's all for today. I hope this video on both the Bright Dust farming and just kind of tips to the Dawning event was helpful. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.